May I give you a few ideas about how to spend Advent? I would be remiss if I didn't do this. May I give you a few ideas about how to spend Advent? A couple ideas, you can think about them. First is this. It is a good idea, in my opinion, to get a good spiritual book. Get the book of the life of Christ, or the book of the life of a saint, or any kind of a spiritual book that you're interested in, and read that book. And introduce into your life and into your mind those spiritual thoughts. Because most modern people, what happens is they watch television, they consume social media, they watch movies online, Netflix, and those are the thoughts that come into them. And the spiritual thoughts about God, about saints, and about heaven, those are not introduced except on Sunday. And so my opinion and my advice to you is to get a good spiritual book. They're easy to get now. You can get them on a Kindle or audio books, all different ways. But to get a book and read the book and think about the book and introduce those spiritual thoughts into your life during the season of Advent. Second, you should pray together in a family. Whether you pray the Our Father and the Hail Mary, whether you pray some part of the Rosary, you should pray together in a family. The responsibility to pray is the Father's. You can read the Bible, it is the teaching of the Church. The spiritual responsibility for the welfare of the family is the Father's. It is the responsibility of the Father to bring together the family and to pray, and to teach the children about God. You should pray together. First, get a good book. Next, learn to pray together as a family. Another one is this. This is just my opinion. I think it is a good idea periodically to step away from the technology in your life. Some people are not able to do that. I understand that. People have to work and they have to study now. But to step away from it a little bit, because what ends up happening is it consumes people. If you're unable to do that, I think you're addicted to it. If you're unable to do it, you are addicted to it. I'm not saying divorce yourself from it entirely. You cannot do that now because of work and school and those sorts of things. But if it consumes your life, you're addicted to it and you become a slave of it. You should only be a slave of Christ, not a slave of something else or someone else. So you can think about that. And then the final thing, it is nice before Christmas and before Easter to confess, to make an honest confession of your own sins, to look in the mirror and come face to face with yourself, and see what are the sins of your life. And many times people, they have unconfessed sins that they never want to confess, but to be honest with yourself and to confess the sins and to ask God to give you his mercy and his grace and his strength, and to prepare yourself for Christmas. Anyway, those are a few things. Get a good spiritual book. You can read it. Maybe look at your relationship with technology. Don't let it dominate you. To pray with your family, and to make a good confession. This is the season of Advent. Advent means coming. Christ comes into our lives all the time. You should prepare, especially at Christmas time, when you receive him into your heart.